One minute you're taking a girl home and the next minute you're getting blackmailed.
Karim Benzema has been found guilty of complicity in the attempted blackmail.
These are the 20 biggest scandals in football history. And for Mathieu Valbuena, sharing his secret with Benzema turned out to be the worst decision of his life. You see, back when Valbuena was playing in the French league, he went out to party with a couple of friends. After having a good time, he took a girl home and got a little freaky, but unknown to him, he and the girl were being recorded. A few days later, someone sent him the video and demanded a crazy amount of money, which Valbuena wasn't willing to pay. So he talked to Benzema to help him sort out his mess. But after a few calls, Benzema urged him just to pay the ransom. This didn't sit well with him, so he reported the issue to the police. And after putting a tap on Benzema's phone, they found this.
He's not taking this seriously. Do not worry. He has no choice. I'll make him understand. He will pay.
It made no sense why Benzema would want to scam his own teammate. Because of that, his own country banned him from the national team for life.
Karim Benzema has been found guilty of complicity in the attempted blackmail of former France teammate Mathieu Valbuena over a sex tape and sentenced to a 1-year suspended jail term by a court.
Eventually, Benzema and 4 other guys were sentenced to 1 year in prison. But while he was just trying to get a payday, the next player smashed his best friend's wife. After arriving at the Barcelona Academy as a scrawny South American kid, Mauro Icardi instantly became friends with his compatriot Maxi Lopez. Maxi took him under his wing and even allowed Icardi to live with him and his wife, Wanda Nara. Eventually, both of them moved to Italy, where their friend grew even closer. However, while Maxi was being nice, Icardi was having an affair with his wife. When news broke out about the affair, it became the biggest scandal in Italian football. Many people couldn't believe the level of betrayal exhibited by Icardi. To make matters worse, Wanda announced her split from Maxi Lopez and her immediate marriage to Icardi. As if that weren't enough, Icardi went ahead and tattooed the names of Maxi and Wanda's children on his arm. So when the pair met in a football match, Maxi refused to shake Icardi's hand. However, Wanda and Icardi are now divorced after he accused her of cheating on him with his teammate Keita Balde. Damn, she might have been a better distributor than Pedri. But while this entire situation cost Icardi a 10-year marriage, Ivan Toney's hatred for his club almost ruined his career. When this video leaked, it shocked the world, considering the history between Toney and Brentford. However, no one knew the extent of his hatred until it was reported that Toney had been betting against his club.
Ivan Toney made 13 bets on his own team to lose in 7 different matches between August 2017 and March 2018. Toney was not in the squad or eligible to play in any of those matches. Now, psychiatry expert Dr. Philip Hopley, who was part of the investigation, said Toney had a clear history of gambling addiction.
The Brentford striker Ivan Toney has been charged by the FA with misconduct in relation to alleged breaches of the FA's betting rules. It's alleged that he breached the rules 232 times.
I understand betting, but doing it against the club you play for? That's just insane.
People that know me know how I am and know what I'm about. And the fact is, like you said, majority of football teams now are sponsored by gambling companies. Yeah. So it's kind of like, weigh it up. Like, if that's the rules, don't be betting. Yeah, you shouldn't be betting.
Thankfully, the English prescribed an 8-month ban to cure him of his illness. But at least he was just gambling, unlike the next player who ended his opponent's career. During a match between Manchester United and Leeds, Roy Keane suffered a nasty injury after a tackle by Alfie Haaland. But while he was screaming in pain, Haaland leaned in and called him a cheat. This incident flipped a switch in Keane's mind, and he knew he couldn't let things slide. So when the pair met in the Manchester Derby 4 years later, Roy Keane did this. While Haaland was screaming in pain, he leaned over him and called him all sorts of names. Keane's horror tackle drew widespread criticism, prompting the FA to ban him for 3 months. For Haaland, it proved to be the end of his career, as he never recovered from that injury. It's all good though, because Alfie's son, Erling Haaland, has been cooking Manchester United ever since. But the bald dude at number 16 produced one of the biggest scandals in World Cup history. With a few minutes left in the 2006 World Cup final between France and Italy, Zinedine Zidane turned towards Materazzi and headbutted him to the ground. The incident shocked the entire world. This was a man who was on his way to a comfortable Ballon d'Or win. What did Materazzi say to him to warrant such a reaction? It took some time before Zidane finally opened up. He said that he asked Materazzi if he wanted his shirt because he had been pulling it throughout the game. Materazzi told him, "I prefer your sister instead."
Une fois vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais. C'est les mots, comme je vous dis, qui me touchent au plus profond.
Vous pouvez les redire ce qui a été dit?
Avec la maman, la sœur, c'est des mots très durs, quoi. Donc vous l'écoutez une fois, vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais.
Yeah, that headbutt was totally worth it. But as crazy as this was, it's nothing compared to Henry robbing an entire country. In a crucial 2010 World Cup qualifier, Ireland defied the odds when they took a 1-0 lead against the almighty France. As the game progressed, France threw everything at them, but the Irish defense was resilient. But with a few minutes of normal time remaining, Thierry Henry turned into LeBron just to assist France's equalizer.
Laurent Malouda trying to measure it. Richard Dunn lost out. Oh, Henry! Oh, it's in the net. It's a goal. McShane has put it into his own goal. Oh, it's in the net.
He's not the back to Gallas and it's easy, but
That's a handball, no question about it. Absolutely no question about it.
As expected, the Irish players surrounded the referee in protest, and from the replay, it was clear they were right. However, since VAR was not a thing back then, the goal stood, ultimately ending Ireland's World Cup dreams. After the game, the Irish threatened to take the matter to court, but their appeals fell on deaf ears. It remains one of the biggest scandals in football history. And since we're talking about the World Cup, another player embarrassed his entire country with his antics. While standing close to the corner flag, a ball was kicked onto Rivaldo's face, or so we thought. Seeing how badly Rivaldo screamed, the referee had no option but to send the Turkish player off. However, the replay showed that the ball actually hit him on his thigh. Basically, he just acted out a terrible Hollywood script. This drew considerable criticism, prompting FIFA to launch an investigation. After determining that he had cheated, they fined him $5,000. Yeah, he probably made that back in one game. But the guy at number 13 hated a player so badly that he put him in a hospital. Back in 2006, Materazzi injured Ibrahimovic with this terrible tackle. Years passed and everyone had forgotten that event. Ibrahimovic was now playing for AC Milan, and the pair met again in the 2010 Milan Derby. The first half finished without incident, but as soon as the second half started, Ibrahimovic did this. Materazzi was rushed to the hospital. And when Ibrahimovic was questioned about the incident, he said he had been waiting for the moment for 4 years. Damn, bro might be more ruthless than John Wick, but at least he didn't cheat, unlike the goalkeeper at number 12. After a silly clearance took him way out of his 18-yard box, Justin Bilo threw a second ball onto the pitch to deny his opponent from scoring. Bro hacked the game to save his face, And since goalkeepers can get away with cheating, Marvin Hitz cooked up his own recipe.
Penalty spot. Hitz makes the save. It stays 0-0.
After his teammates had given away a silly penalty, Hitz knew he had to do something to give himself a fighting chance. So while the referee was distracted, he used his boots to dig up the penalty spot.
Just watch what Hitz is doing here. He's just trying to kick up the ground a little bit by that penalty spot. Hitz makes the save. It stays 0-0. Modeste went for that corner and he slips as well.
It looked harmless at first, but when the striker slipped and missed, that's when everyone figured out what he had done. Fair play to him for bending the rules to his will.
War nicht so schön, wenn man es im Nachhinein sieht, aber in so einem intensiven Spiel mit so hitzigen Zuschauern macht man manchmal Sachen, die man für sich nicht kennt und ja, klar, ich würde es nicht mehr machen.
But even this controversial play couldn't break into our top 10. That's because we've got a player cutting himself and another guy smashing his teammate's wife. Before we get to those, we have to see a guy who scammed an entire football club.
Playing for Southampton, which was, pretty unbelievable at the time.
Back in '96, Southampton manager Graham Souness received an unexpected call from George Weah, the FIFA World Player of the Year. Weah recommended his cousin, Ali Dia, to Souness, and since the recommendation came from such an elite player, he had to give the guy a chance. But after just one training session, Souness began to have doubts. Unfortunately, Southampton were going through an injury crisis, and Souness decided to play him in a match. Dia entered the match and completely flopped, forcing the club to reach out to Weah again. But to their shock, Weah claimed he never called Souness or knew who Ali Dia was.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
when faced with facts, Dia still stuck to his story, but everyone knew he was lying.
He told me that George ring him and said that I'm a good player. I'm not afraid to say that I'm a good player. I can prove that. I'm going to prove that.
So George Weah did ring Grahamson?
Personally, like I told you, I don't really know.
In reality, he orchestrated everything. Moving from the local club, Blythe Spartans, through a well-executed scam.
Next thing I knew, I was watching him on Match of the Day and watched him playing for Southampton, which was, pretty unbelievable at the time.
Maybe Zarelli thought that if Zarelli's his real name, that he could go that far, and maybe thought that he could do the same sort of thing.
Since then, he simply vanished into thin air and has not been heard from since. But while Dia was remorseful, the guy at number 9 breathes and lives on controversy. In the match between Ghana and Uruguay, the Ghanaians were aiming to become the first African country to reach the World Cup semifinals. Little did they know they were about to face the biggest challenge in their careers. With seconds of the match remaining, the Ghanaians had one last chance to win. But as the header was about to go in, Suarez did this.
What a finish to the match. You saw that ball and Suarez is sent off. But it was far from.
Unfortunately, Gian missed the resulting penalty kick. And Ghana eventually lost the game in a penalty shootout. To this day, it remains a benchmark for how far players are willing to go to secure a win.
I don't say they apologize about that because the Ghana player missed a penalty, not me. It's not my fault because I don't miss the penalty.
This reminds me of the time Neymar got banned by FIFA.
I'm gonna lose my shit!
Back when Neymar was an up-and-coming superstar, he found a cunning way to cheat the system. Whenever he got a penalty, he would wait for the goalkeeper to dive before slotting the ball in the other direction. After scoring 5 straight penalties, the clips went viral, prompting FIFA to call an emergency meeting. After deliberating, they banned this move from the game of football for life. Unknown to FIFA, Neymar is not a guy to back down from a challenge, and he demonstrated his newfound talent in a match against Switzerland. After being tackled, Neymar decided to milk every inch of pain from his body. His reaction to the tackle instantly went viral. Even a bunch of kids couldn't help but pay tribute to him. However, Neymar isn't the only player who has good acting skills. After losing the first leg of their Champions League match against Inter, Barcelona knew they needed a miracle to be able to qualify for the finals. But when the miracle wasn't forthcoming, Sergio Busquets took matters into his own hands by milking a simple tackle from Thiago Motta. He even peeked to see if the referee had taken the bait. Eventually, Motta was sent off. But while Busquets tricked the referee, Sergio Ramos literally took out his opponent. The hype surrounding the 2018 Champions League was real. Serial winners Real Madrid came up against the Liverpool team on red-hot form. With that in mind, Ramos knew he needed to give his team the advantage. So, as soon as the game started, he turned into a UFC fighter.
UEFA Champions League, Salah. He's crying, he's out.
After taking out Liverpool's star man, Madrid went on to win the trophy. But the trauma of what Ramos did stayed with the Liverpool faithful.
In the bathroom, I was crying in the bathroom because I want to start a game, I want to play. But in the meantime, I know that I'm not fit at all to play. But in one moment, like, disappeared, it's so difficult. It's so difficult.
So when Salah and Ramos met again, Salah refused to shake Ramos's hand. I mean, you can't injure someone and then try to act cool afterwards. Still, taking out an opponent is one thing. Biting them, on the other hand, is a scandal best left to one player. It all started in 2010 when Suarez decided to take a bite during an argument between Ajax and PSV players. This earned him a 7-match ban. 3 years later, Suarez was back at it again. His latest display earned him a 10-match ban. But after biting another opponent at the 2014 World Cup, FIFA said enough.
And he headbutted him there, didn't he? Luis Suarez appeared to move his head. He might have bit him as well.
Did Suarez apologize?
Of course not. He behaves in a way, and FIFA allows him to do so because they need the champions to play. They don't have the courage to make the right decisions.
They suspended him from all football-related activities for 4 months, gave him a 9-match international ban, and fined him 100,000 Swiss francs. They did this when the solution was just a wooden stake.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
I think there has to be an exemplary punishment, and he has to be suspended for the rest of the World Cup, so no one can do this anymore. This is football, you don't bite.
But the player at number 3 took a bite out of the forbidden fruit. Back when Chelsea were at the top of the Premier League, their legendary captain, John Terry, and his teammate, Wayne Bridge, became very close. And since they were such good friends, they spent time together with each other's families. All seemed well until news broke that Terry had an affair with Wayne Bridge's wife. This became the biggest scandal in English football, leading to Bridge leaving Chelsea. So when the pair met in the match, Bridge refused to shake Terry's hand. But while Terry smashed his friend's wife, Maradona screwed an entire country. During a match between England and Argentina, Diego Maradona took matters into his own hands by scoring the most controversial goal in World Cup history.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Maradona.
This drew widespread criticism worldwide.
We said it was the hand of God. I said it was the hand of a rascal.
No, it's not cheating. He knew he'd cheated, and the hand of God was the biggest load of nonsense of all time, and just added to the irritation.
I couldn't reach it, and Shilton was already there, so I couldn't head it, so I did like that.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Maradona.
Especially when pictures of him scoring with his hand surfaced. When Maradona was asked why he did that, he simply said, "A little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God."
It was your hand or the hand of God?
For me, man.
It was my hand. I go out shouting goal, and I look behind me to see whether the referee took the bait, and he had. So that was it. Come on, it was a goal.
But as crazy as this was, it is nothing compared to what happens at number 1. In 1990, the last South American ticket to the World Cup came down to one final match. Brazil versus Chile in a winner-takes-all encounter.
1989 qualifiers. During the Brazil-Chile match, astonishing things happened. In that August match, the audience witnessed a real clash, filled with rough tackles and red cards in the truest sense of the word.
For Brazil, a draw would be enough to see them through, but for Chile, only a win would guarantee them a spot. When the match started, Brazil rushed into an early lead, and with time far spent, the Chileans came up with Plan B.
Events picked up in the second half, and in the 49th minute, Brazil took the lead. For the following 5 minutes, Chile dominated as they tried desperately to get back into the tie.
Some Brazilian fans threw flares onto the pitch, striking the Chilean goalkeeper in the head. Bloodied and battered, the Chileans walked off the pitch in protest of what had happened. This meant that Brazil would lose the game due to the actions of their fans. But in a stroke of luck, a photographer captured the exact moment the flare landed on the pitch. Crucially, it showed that the flare did not touch Rojas. So where did he get the injuries from? With the evidence firmly against him, Rojas confessed that it was all part of a plan involving the entire Chilean team. He hid a razor in his glove and cut himself with it. FIFA didn't like this at all and banned the entire Chilean team from the 1990 and 1994 World Cups. But while cutting yourself might seem extreme, it's nothing compared to fans throwing flares at their team. Or Suarez spitting on a coach. Click on the next video to see the craziest moments in football history.